Gentlemen, I'll start with you, Hask. Over 90 minutes, we look at what happened in this game. Mamelodi Sundowns going into the halftime break with a 1-0 lead. Coming back, we see Chippa United getting the equalizer. But firstly, Mark, let's speak about that defensive shape that we saw throughout this game from a Chippa United point of view.
It was absolutely fantastic, and you have to give your credit to Coach Badela, the way he set up his team, and the attitude of the players. And I think we'll go and illustrate it a bit later in the show, but I think it was absolutely phenomenal the way the players rallied, the way the players, even after being a goal down, and they know they probably should have scored in the first half as well. Phenomenal performance on the part of Chippa United. A great collective team performance.
A great collective team performance from this Chippa United side, really able to just hold their structure throughout the 90 minutes in this game against the defending champions. But Dogi, let's talk about also how we saw this Chippa United side just limiting those opportunities for Sundowns to play the ball behind their defense.
Yeah, I thought the coach got it right in terms of reorganizing the defense. Njengoba besibona iSundowns ike yathi ukuhlasela first half. Kodwa ke bethe isiqembu sesibili babe sebengcono lapha emuva ngoba defender ngabadlali abayi6. So it was 6-3-1. And also ibhola mele wide, they will always have that first defender oppressayo and force Sundowns to play it back or square, not by the forward pass. So I thought Chippa did very well. So that's a reason why ububona nje Sundowns be rotator ibhola trying to find that space within the pockets.
Indeed. And Mark, we look at a Sammy Siabi. In those initial minutes of the game, he came across as a player that was very aggressive, making those kind of tackles that may have gotten one concerned in terms of will Chippa United finish this game with 10 men on the field?
Yeah, they were very clear in how they were going to go about this game. They were not going to, they were going to intimidate Sundowns from the word go, not going to give them the run on the ball. This, for me, however, is a professional foul. This has to go into the book. I mean, Jaden Adams is clear, he's gone. Siabi was very intentional. Make sure that he stops him in his tracks. He doesn't get a yellow card for this. He even takes his boot off. For me, that's like, you can't do that, because then that sets the tone. And here's another challenge. No, he's not trying to play the ball. He literally just goes through Allende there. And so again, that's 2 successive tackles from Siabi, but he was making a statement. You have to say that. And I'm sure that came from the coach. They said, we're not going to be overawed by the occasion or the players on the opposition. We are going to go there and show them we are here to compete. So Siabi was all about making a statement. And he certainly made that statement.
And he did make that statement, but also we look at Mamelodi Sundowns making a statement in terms of finding the opening goal in the first 45 minutes of play. Dogi, here we see an Arthur Salis coming in and finding the back of the net for Mamelodi Sundowns to open their accounts.
Yeah, I think njengoba ubona bezama nje ukucombine ama-player eSundowns. Look at that pass by Utarifu Matthews, and hey, uyala lo muntu lo, hey, le left footer yakhe uyithembile. Nala kumele asebenzise i-right, cha usebenzise left. But I think this new position yakhe, he's a better player now. So he's also always a player or attacker i-box. Buka le run la yenzayo. The ball dissects 4 defenders as a Chippa United there. As Tashik playing it, manje uhlakaniphile makalithola le bhola ulibeka phambili ngoba wamthinta, it's a penalty.
So one of the rules when you're making tackles as well, V, if you're going to leave your feet, you better win the ball. Because once you've left your feet, you're dead. You can't come back. And so Siabi sells himself in that moment. So Tashik Matthews does beautifully to just get a touch ahead of him. But if Siabi stays on his feet, he can then guide Matthews away from goal. So him leaving his feet compromised the entire defense, because now Matthews has the ball and he's got space and time to pick that pass. But if Siabi stays on his feet, he can still guide him and guide him away from goal. So for me, even though he had a really good game, Siabi, I think that's one time he possibly sold himself. And for defenders, don't, especially defensive midfielders as well, don't sell yourself unnecessarily. Don't leave your feet unnecessarily.
Okay, and we take you through to a quick ad break now. And when we come back, we take a look at what unfolded in the second half. Is Mamelodi Sundowns that went into the halftime break leading by a 1-0 against Chippa United, courtesy of an Arthur Salis goal and a beautiful assist coming in from Tashreeq Matthews. But we saw a young man that we spoke about in our build-up, former Cape Town Spurs player Khaya Mfecane, finding the equalizing goal. And let's speak to how this goal comes about for this Chippa United side.
Again, I can tell you, Kaya is the one who picks it up initially and he plays it across the field. Look at this flick from Philander. That's very intentional, but this is what I love. He wants to have a strike at goal. It ricochets off Matthews, falls into the path of Mfecane, and then his shot is deflected off Mukwena. So it's a very much of a pinball affair in there, but it's the attitude of the Chippa players once again. You can see they look at, I think that's Kamis. If you look, the fact Kamis is the right back, but he's willing to get forward. And then, the ball gets flicked, and Philander has the strike at goal, and then Mfecane, obviously, Ronwin is beaten with the deflection. But it's the willingness to get themselves into those areas, get themselves into the right positions. We saw it in the first half for Nani, the chance he got as well from the Sitole pass. So the attitude of the Chippa players, for me was everything today.
But also you must give it to the coach, because the very same subs are the ones that change the complexion of the game. And they look at Philander.
We spoke about him at halftime.
I mean, it's such a big game. Now we want to Jail understand. No, but it's a big game.
Yeah.
And they're one goal down. Then the next thing, his focus and his positive is going forward. Utushaya Ipola let deflect and then it's a goal. Clearly, they had a proper plan second half than first half. And we must give it to the coach and his technical team, because I don't know whether, like you said it before, that he was at Sundowns and he might have known the players of Sundowns or the
he
DNA.
did say that pre-match interview that he knows some of those strengths of the Sundowns team and where their vulnerabilities are.
Because Mobuga, the way of defending a corner second half, it was more of a transition. So he was picking it. When they win the ball, it come out quick. So I think you got it right there.
We speak about Kaya. Yes, Hask?
No, I'm saying you can just imagine the work that has gone into this, because who is the sporting director at Chippa? He's also the national team analyst, as Doc said. So you can imagine how much video they've been watching. They probably dissected every minute of the Sundowns Richards Bay game, and that's why they put up this kind of performance. So there's work that's gone in behind the scenes in order to produce such a performance.
And that performance comes with a point for the Chile boys. Massive congratulations to Netemba Badela and the sporting director, of course, Sipho Mali. But let's now hear from the man that found the equalizing goal for the Chile boys, and that is the man of the match in this encounter, Khaya Mfecane.
For us, it all came down to preparation. Pre-season, we were fucking excellent. Sorry for the language. But just preparation, belief from the team, coming against defending champions is not easy, but the belief system we had and the support system we had, we just had to perform and make our fans happy.
You definitely had to perform, and you did that. In the first 45, it almost seemed as though you guys were a little bit uncomfortable, but you came out in the second 45 different, a lot more confident. What is it that the coach said to you at halftime?
The coach emphasized resilience. We were willing to suffer. We know playing against Sundowns, you're not going to have much of the ball, but we were up for that. We suffered for most of the game. We had a few chances. We took one of them, and here we are with a point.
What does this draw mean for you as players of Chippa United, especially on your first match out?
It's only the beginning of the project. The coach, the technical team, the players, there's a project that we're trying to have here. So it's only the beginning. It's a building block. We're looking forward to the rest of the season.
Congratulations to the man of the match in this encounter. And with that, we look at this Chippa United side. In the 13 games that they've played in their PSL openers, 3 victories, now 6 draws, and a total of just 4 losses. But we speak of the moments that were made up in the second half of this game, and we go into the next one. After finding the goal, we see Mamelodi Sundowns continuing with just wanting to find that lead.
Yeah, but again, look at the green shirts and how they gain possession. Now, you can't give it away after so much effort to get it. And then you're playing against a team like Sundowns, because this is what I was talking about. And do you know who Tuba and Loza Mukora?
Mshishi.
Now look at the experience. He's trying to carry it. Look at Alanze Bekil and then Pega position.
I'm a Bekil, both sides.
Now Mshishi ufuna ukulanda far post because the keeper uvale in a post, but then again uhlangana nobani.
Stanley Nwabali in goals waiting and ready.
This is one of the top keepers in Nigeria national team.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think just want us to look at this. I mean, when you look at the position of the two players right now, this speaks to the attitude of the Chippa United players today. That has been so special for me and why they got to this. Philander, look where he started and look at this. The effort for him to get back there and make that tackle. I mean, they lost the ball after that. But him and Goodman Musele initially had the ball. He tried to play it forward, but it didn't get through. Grant Kekana intercepts. And Musele is the one that goes and puts pressure on Kekana. But then at the same time, as soon as Kekana advances the ball, Musele breaks his neck to get back. Philander breaks his neck to get back. And that is what you want. And that's every coach's dream. And so again, credit to Coach Badela for making the players play this way, because it takes a special coach to get his players who are willing to do this for the team. And so he's done that phenomenally.
And as we give credit to him, we must also give credit to that pre-match interview, because he seemed in that interview like a man who was so uncertain about what the plan was and what his team looked to do on the day. And I mean, that game certainly fooled a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I think ubeyazi ukuthi ulinde leni, but ukubuyela kuleya point lo Mike show you. You gain possession in your half. Now, this is what we call transition from defense to attack. There is no way gaining a baller or possession, and then you try to build within the very same area because that's where it's been overloaded. Now, you have to look for transition, what we need, a transitional player. Where is the transitional player? Where there is no crowd, where there is no concentration. We play it on the other side and then come out. I think that's the only thing that the coach has to build now from on.
We look at this attack here from Mamelodi Sundowns, and you look at that just combinational play that we saw between Mdunyelwa and Letlaku.
Again, Letlaku is...
he was a man on fire.
I mean, just look at this.
Let's be honest.
The intelligence of the boy.
Yeah, but let's be honest. This is what was missing second half.
No,
you
for
might
sure.
have been in Pasadena, but the unfortunate part, the weaker side. Yeah, okay. You know, probably the coach saw that. You know, because where I'm seated, I'm thinking Pasadena is going inside the box. Yes, this is what the DNA is all about at Sundowns, but it's not effective like the Modawus when they go in because they're in their natural right footer.
Yeah.
And Mamelodi Sundowns just kept on coming over and over again, and here just before we hit the 90th minute, and it's the youngster this time around.
The kids, you know, these kids are a problem.
Having a good time.
No, certainly. I mean, you would have bet your house on him just getting that, his laces through that. You skewed the effort a little bit, but already here, I mean, you know, they are frightening when they come running at you like that. And so, great work from Shishi.
Oh.
And it's just, you wanted that to be a goal. You just hoped that would be a goal.
After all that play.
You just hope, but again, give it to Mabena. It's been a while I've seen a wing player going to the defenders rather than playing a sighting or backward. But balade, ubabuza ukuthi niphethe ngesandla.
The joys of youth. We look at, Mark, you wanted to talk to just the defensive shape and the defensive makeup of this Chippa United side, and perhaps we can just start this clip again so that you can dissect it for us.
No, yeah, again, I want us to be very clear. Look at the time on the clock. We are in the 94th minute. That for me is remarkable. This is where, like, we'll see it. I want you to see this, B. Look at this. Look at the lines. There, we're going to pause it right there. Look at that. The back four, the midfield four, and then the front two. But look at how compact they are. That's what's important. Even your right back and your right wing, because the ball's on the opposite side of the field, they are tucked in. Again, look at the compactness. You can literally, we speak about throwing a blanket over the entire squad. Where is Sundowns going to get through there? They're not going to get through anyway. It's in the 94th minute. But the intelligence, the discipline of the team, look at them. Beautiful shape. They keep moving. Look at, even now the ball is shifted across the field. You can still throw a blanket over the entire squad of Chippa. And that was the difference on the day. Obviously, we watched Richards Bay last week, and we pointed out how stretched they were.
Yeah.
That's how you defend against Sundowns. If you want the prototype of how you defend against Sundowns, Chippa United put on a clinic.
This was in the dying minutes of the game, literally. We saw the young Mabena once again trying to ask the questions. Kami's risking it all in this moment.
Yes, yes. Uyabona la if uthola uMabena la usha uMabena yes uyabona if usha uMabena I ready red card straight.
But that's, I have a problem with that though, Doc. I have a problem. Like, I mean, that's a very reckless challenge.
Do you think?
So my thing is it only a red card if he makes contact?
Make contact with the
Make
player.
contact.
That is the question.
That's my problem though. There's clear intention.
There
Once
is.
you've left your feet, I mean, you're flying, you've left your
was
feet,
flying.
you have no control because you're in the air, you're flying there, you have no control. And like you say, if he caught him, it's a red card.
It's a red card.
But then that's a problem because why do we have to wait for him? There's clear intention there. And so that's where we need to draw the line because if now we're worried about if he caught him. If he caught him, he may have broken his leg. Are we waiting until something drastic happens? Or should we penalize
there was no
it?
contact.
No, but Doc, the intention is there.
Yeah, but there was
I
no
think
contact.
this will be a nice talking point to have on soccer.
Yeah, we should also
With the
say.
red,
Yeah,
we unpack it. And then utayizwela Bravi
Takeaways here this afternoon after this clash between Chippa United and the defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns. And I'll just stick to one, just the scenes around me when Chippa United, when that final whistle went off. Coach Badela, the Bob the Builder, was extremely worried coming into this game. A team that just assembled a couple of weeks ago, really, just building up into this particular season, coming against the reigning champions, the powerhouse that is Mamelodi Sundowns. I was speaking to Chairman Chippa Mpengesi, the sporting director Snipsy Pomali, smiles all around. This first impression, good first impression for Themba Badela going into the next matches, and the challenge now is whether they can do this in the coming games as well. Mamelodi Sundowns, it's back to the drawing board.
Right, a quick look at those results. Also, Toluma Peshangwane now at the top of the Betway Premiership table as things stand following a 1-0 victory against Orbit College. And Bulugwane City Magesi goalless draw. Maruma Gallants with a 2-1 victory against Richards Bay. Actually, it's Maruma Gallants that are currently sitting at the top of the log at the moment. And of course, later on today, Orlando Pirates take on Skukuni.